Welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. Well, as you can see, I just charged up my bike. This is the Segway Xafari e-bike to 100%. And I'll be taking it on a full range test, pedal assist only, no throttle. I tried a range test the other day at 90%. I shouldn't have rushed it. I should have charged it all the way. This time I did, so we should get decent results, hopefully. So what I'll be doing is I'll start off on pedal assist 2, and I think the max I'll go is pedal assist 3, unless there's a long sustained incline, then I'll go to pedal assist 5. But today I'm going to avoid using the throttle as much as possible. Remember, Segway has rated the range for this bike at 88 miles, and typically that's at pedal assist 1 under ideal flat terrain or conditions. I'm 175 pounds, so a lighter rider will get better range than I would, and someone heavier than myself will get a bit less range. So you need to keep these things in mind, which is why I'm doing this test today. I'd really like to see how far this bike can go on a single charge with strictly pedal assist and no throttle. So that's what we're going to be testing today. All right, I'm here. This is the beginning of the trail. All right, it was about 1.1 miles to get here, but this is where it starts. So I'm going to take this all the way down around this bend here, and it will take me to the main trail through Silverado and into Irvine. Now I'm going to take it all the way back. All right, so let's give it a shot. Let's do this. This display is really nice. You could move it up and down, but I also have my cell phone mounted here. So if I do want to use GPS, this is the way I typically go. Although you do have GPS built in to the Segway. That's great if you want to, if you don't have a phone mount and you have to carry the phone in your pocket or in a backpack, you can totally use GPS on this display. But it is significantly smaller. I prefer using GPS on my phone. Oh, and you know what? I did buy a new seat post. It's a suspension seat post. What's it called? Thud Buster, I think, by Canyon Creek. I'm going to have to show that to you later. So I think I'll test out some trails later. I'll go on some dirt roads, gravelly sections. I'll go off the pavement later, and we'll test that out. But for now, I'm just going to take it slow and easy. So let's talk about range. So today what I'll be doing is I'll keep it to, I'll avoid throttle totally. So I'm going to keep it at pedal assist 2 and 3. I'm going to try to ride this bike like I normally would every day. I generally will not use throttle unless I hit like really steep inclines or extended inclines. But today, if I do hit any of those big inclines, I'll just knock it up to pedal assist 5. But I will avoid using the throttle today. And I tend to average between 12 to 15 miles an hour. Generally, the faster you go, especially if you use the higher pedal assist levels, the more battery or the more energy it takes up. So I'm going to keep it at an average pace. Like I said, 12 to 15 miles an hour is what I typically do on a ride. So I'm not really going to push it. I won't be doing a speed test today. All right, I'm approaching the main trail, which will take me through Silverado, all the way into Irvine. So right now, I'm running parallel to El Toro Road right up here to my left. Let's stop here so you can see it better. Here's the start of the bike lane. Yeah, this is Cook's Corner. All right, let's get this started. Oh, let me see how far we've gone. So from where we started at that trail, okay, so 6.5 miles so far, which I like to mark this as the beginning of the Silverado Trail. This is probably the most treacherous part of the trip today. And that's because, as you can see, those cars are just whizzing by at high speeds. Many of them go well over 50 miles an hour on this street. But the good news is there is a dedicated bike lane for most of this road. But because these cars are just whizzing by you from behind, it's really important to have that rear view mirror. You can see it mounted on my left handlebar. But yeah, this road goes almost 10 miles straight. So it's a great road to ride on if you're doing a range test. Now approaching Irvine Lake. This is where we go every trout season. Let's see if the gate's still open. It should be. Yeah, okay. Cool. What time's the lake closed today?
3:30.
Oh, it's already closed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 3:30. So summer, does it change?
Oh no, that's year round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. How's it going?
No worries. So they're only open on weekends. They're not open during the week. And since today is Friday, they did open today, but as you can see, they did close at 3:30. All right, let's hit the trail again. Let's check the mileage. Okay. 15.5 miles. Almost 15.6. I think I'll hit Irvine Park, which is at the end of this route, this trail here, and then we'll head back. Alright, I hit the end of the trail. I'm now approaching Irvine Park. I will take you on a quick tour of this little park. Actually, this is a pretty big park compared to some of the ones I usually go to, like Laguna Niguel, Fountain Valley. This park is pretty big. Look at how well this bike handles. You can ride it without hands. It's very well balanced. You just have to shift your weight left or right to turn. Very well balanced. Oh, here comes the speed bump. Better grab the handlebars for safety. Now, oh, I forgot to mention, I have these riding gloves. These are pretty cool. They're 100%, I think that's the company name, but they have protective knuckles. They protect your hands if you were to get into a fall. Really great. They're comfortable too. And I like the I chose this fluorescent yellow for visibility. As you can see, I'm wearing this over it's like windbreaker as well, same color. You want to be as visible as possible, especially when you're traveling down roads like I was just on, where there's traffic coming up from behind you all the time. You want to be as visible, you want to be highly visible as much as possible. Also, when you're doing turn signals and such, it helps to have the brightly colored gloves. Okay, I found the lake. Let's check it out. It's a tiny lake, but maybe this is one of several. Oh, there's a railroad track. Alright, I think I'll take you by the college where I work. Yeah, it's right by this park, so take a quick look. That was a dude laying on the side of the street. What the heck? Okay, there she is, Santiago Canyon College. I'm on the adjunct faculty team here. I usually teach like one class a semester, part-time. Alright, let's head back. So technically I think this is part of the city of Orange. Alright. Made it through Silverado Canyon. Woo-hoo! Back on Aliso Creek Trail, baby. Alright, let's do a mileage check. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm at 35.3 miles total. Got 21% left on my battery. And look at that, after 30 seconds, it's about to activate my anti-theft system. There you go, rear wheel's locked. Because I have my phone here, I just have to move. And it unlocks. Alright, now let's take a leisurely ride back down Aliso Creek Trail here. Alright, passing by the golf course. Yeah, this trail just winds all the way around through Lake Forest and into Laguna Hills, which we'll be approaching soon. Alright folks, we're here. This is where we're going to go off-road. You see the bike trail continues on this way. We're going up this way. It's going to be a little bit of an incline here. Here we go. It is rocky. Hey. The seat post is doing really well. Man, it really smooths out the ride on these bumpy trails. Let's hit this big wrench here. This is pretty good. You might be wondering why I have a seat post suspension on this bike, which is full suspension. The thing about the Segway Xafari is that rear suspension is not adjustable. It's not an air suspension. It's a thick, powerful coil. And while that does work to eat up very large bumps or potholes, it doesn't do very well for the smaller rocks, gravel, and such. That's where the seat suspension or seat post suspension comes into play. They work very well together. It's hard to tell from this point of view, but the whole time I'm riding here, I am fully seated. Typically, when I ride on rough terrain like this, I pedal standing up just to avoid the painful bumps that you encounter on trails like this. But with a full suspension bike, and especially one with a seat post suspension like this, you can remain seated and remain comfortable. That seat post suspension was a great addition to this bike. This big rock. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I just dropped to below 10%. I'm going to start losing pedal assist pretty soon. I should start working my way back home. Oh, this is really rough right here. Okay. Back on the path we go. Alright folks, that's all she wrote. 0%, I'm out. Let's see, how many miles did we do today? Woo-wee! 46.02 miles. It's official. So at this point, I'm just over 2 miles away from home. Which really isn't a big deal because I could now just pedal the bike back manually without throttle or pedal assist. The great news is this bike comes with 8 gears, so I simply have to go to first or second gear and pedaling becomes easier. Now, 46.02 miles is actually great for this region. Remember, I had to deal with a lot of inclines and hills, and whenever I faced any sort of incline, I immediately went to pedal assist 5, which eats up a lot of battery energy. Had I been more conservative, if I went down to 4 or 3, I could have easily gotten 50 miles or more. But 46 miles the way I rode today is actually quite good. Mission accomplished. Okay, I am about 0.3 miles away from home and I'm just exhausted. It's like a steady incline going up this hill. So I am going to go into walk mode. This was quite a surprise. I really wasn't sure if walk mode was even an option. If you're wondering what walk mode is, it's a feature on this bike that allows you to just hold the bike in place while it moves itself. So in walk mode, when you press down on the throttle, that rear hub starts moving that wheel forward. So it moves the bike for you. All you have to do is steer it. Especially if you're going up an incline like this, it makes a huge difference. It makes it quite easy to just move the bike. And that's what I'm doing here on 0 battery power. I didn't think it would work. I just thought I'd test it, and it was working great. So here I am in walk mode, taking the bike back home. So here's an overview of today's ride. As you can see, I left from Mission Viejo into Lake Forest, went through Silverado Canyon into Irvine and Orange, and then back all the way through to Laguna Hills. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something new, please consider subscribing. And if you would, give this video a thumbs up. Thanks.